chosen one. Stop. Before you scroll past this, stop, because what you are about to hear is not for everyone. It is for the ones who have been quietly drowning while still showing up with a smile. If you have been carrying financial pressure in silence and nobody around you, not your children, not your friends, not even the person sitting next to you in church, nobody truly knows how exhausted you really are, then this message may be one of the clearest signs that heaven has not forgotten your address. I am not talking about greed. I am not talking about lottery dreams or get-rich fantasies. I am talking about the unpaid bill sitting on your kitchen table that you have been staring at for 3 weeks. The savings account that used to mean security and now means fear. The adult child who called last Tuesday needing help you were not sure you could give. The prescription you delayed because the copay hit too hard this month. The fixed income that made sense 10 years ago and makes less sense every single morning you wake up now. You have given for decades. You have tithed, sacrificed, trusted, waited. And somewhere between all that faithful giving, the return went quiet. This message is not for the greedy. This is for the weary faithful. And I need you to hear this clearly. Unexpected money is not luck. It is not coincidence. It is divine remembrance, arriving on a timeline that God, not man, controls. Heaven has been counting your tears like coins in a jar. Every silent night, every dignified smile over a quietly breaking heart. A check with your name on it has been moving through unseen hands, hands you cannot see, through doors you never knew existed. But here is what nobody tells you. Before that money appears, there are signs, subtle signs, signs so ordinary that most chosen ones walk right past them without recognizing what heaven is actually saying. And the real question, the one that should be keeping you on this message, is not whether the money is coming. The real question is, why did it have to wait this long? Stay with me, because that answer will change everything. Type, God remembers me, if this message is reaching you at exactly the right moment. Let me ask you something nobody else has thought to ask you lately. When was the last time someone looked you in the eyes and said, I see how hard you have been working just to hold it all together? Not your children, not your pastor, not your neighbors who assume that because you smile on Sunday, everything must be fine. Nobody asked. And so you kept carrying it, alone, in silence, with dignity, because that is what you do. That is who you are. You are the one who woke up at 2 in the morning, not from a nightmare, but from the math, running numbers in the dark, calculating what could wait, what could not, what would have to wait again. You did not reach for your phone. You reached for faith, and you whispered a prayer over a bank statement that had no business being prayed over, and you trusted God anyway. That is not weakness. That is one of the most profound acts of worship I have ever witnessed. You became something most people never talk about in church. You became a quiet accountant of survival. You learned how to stretch 5 loaves across too many mouths. You cut your own portion smaller so someone else at the table would not notice the shortage. You delayed your prescription another 2 weeks. You skipped the doctor's visit. You told yourself you were fine, and then went home and sat in a chair and stared at the ceiling and wondered how much longer. And the whole time you kept giving. To your church, to your grandchildren, to that emergency that was not your emergency but became yours because nobody else stepped up. You kept giving when you had barely enough. Because Proverbs 11:24 says there is one who scatters and yet increases. And you believed that. You held on to that verse like a lifeline. But the increase did not come when you expected it. And that silence, that long, confusing silence from heaven, that is where the real damage happened. Not in the bills, not in the bank account. The real damage happened inside you, because financial strain, when it lasts long enough, does not stay financial. It becomes emotional. It seeps into your identity. It starts whispering things that no sermon ever warned you about. It whispers, you made too many mistakes. It whispers, God is blessing everyone else. It whispers, Maybe you are just not the kind of person breakthroughs happen for. And the hardest part, the part that never makes it into the testimony, is the shame. The quiet, suffocating shame of needing help and refusing to ask for it. Of sitting in a room full of people who love you and feeling completely alone in your financial reality. Of smiling through panic. Of performing okayness so convincingly that even the people closest to you believed the performance. You were not just broke, you were invisibly breaking. And here is what the enemy understood that you did not. He was never just attacking your finances, he was attacking your peace. He was attacking your sense of worth. He was attacking your ability to believe that God still had something specific planned for you, not for someone else, not for the congregation in general, but for you, by name, by address, by the exact number of tears you cried that nobody counted, but God counted them. Psalm 56:8 says he collects every single one, he stores them, he remembers. Not one night of silent struggle went unrecorded in heaven. Your faith was carrying weight your wallet could not. And God saw every compromise you made in that grocery store aisle, every postponed need, every quiet prayer whispered over a number that did not add up. He saw the dignity with which you carried a burden you never deserved to carry alone. And now I need to ask you the question that changes everything. What if the delay was not proof that God forgot you? What if the delay was part protection, shielding you from a blessing you were not yet positioned to handle, and part preparation, building something inside you that the money alone could never build? What if everything you endured in that long, quiet, fruitless-looking season was not punishment but curriculum? Because, chosen one, God does not delay provision to punish the faithful. He delays it to protect the vessel. And the vessel he has been preparing quietly, invisibly, through every hard morning and every stretched dollar, that vessel is you. The hardest part was never being broke. The hardest part was wondering whether heaven noticed. It noticed. It has always noticed. And what is coming next will prove it in ways that will make the waiting finally make sense. Stay with me, because the next thing I'm about to tell you explains exactly why God held this back, what he was protecting you from, and the moment he decided your season of waiting was finally over. Type "He saw me through it" if you have ever smiled through financial pressure while trusting God in silence. You are not alone in this room anymore. Now I need to tell you something that may be the most important truth you hear today. Something that nobody sitting across from you at that kitchen table ever said. Something the church did not always explain clearly enough. Something that, once you understand it, will completely reframe every year you waited, every prayer that felt unanswered, every morning you woke up wondering if God had simply moved on without you. Here it is. Some money was delayed because you were not being denied. You were being protected. Let that land. Not punished, not forgotten, not overlooked, protected. Because here is what most people never consider when they are crying over what has not come yet. A blessing that arrives too early in the wrong season, into the wrong hands, around the wrong people, does not become a miracle. It becomes a wound, and God knows the difference, even when you do not. There are 3 reasons provision may have waited in your life, and every single one of them has a name. The first reason is protection from wrong people. Think honestly. Where were you 5 years ago? Who was in your circle? Who had access to your decisions, your trust, your generosity? If that money had arrived then, and you know this is true, there were people positioned around you who would have consumed it. Not strangers, people you loved, people you trusted, manipulators dressed in familiar faces, family members whose pressure you could not yet resist. Situations you had not yet found the strength to walk away from. God did not withhold the blessing to hurt you. He withheld it to keep it from being swallowed before it ever truly reached you. Some blessings arrive late, so they do not die early. The second reason is protection from wrong timing. Joseph did not receive his influence in the pit. He received it after the pit, after the prison, after the process. And every single stage shaped something in him that the palace required. Israel did not receive abundance all at once in the wilderness. They received manna in stages, just enough, just in time, because God was building their capacity to trust before he expanded their portion. Chosen one, money without maturity is dangerous. Provision without clarity creates chaos. God was not just preparing a harvest, he was building a barn that could hold it. If the blessing had come before you were ready to carry it, it would have slipped through your hands, and then the enemy would have used your own testimony against you. The third reason is preparation of identity. God does not simply send provision, he prepares the vessel that will carry it. Think of the widow in 2 Kings. Her oil did not multiply until obedience aligned with timing. She had to gather the jars first. She had to act in faith before the miracle moved. And when she did, the oil did not stop flowing until there were no more vessels left to fill. You are the vessel, and God has been expanding your capacity through every hard season you endured. The lock was not cruelty, it was custody. He was holding the blessing in custody, guarding it, keeping it safe until the right version of you was ready to receive it without destroying it. Now hear me on this, because this is the part that should shake something loose inside you. Provision without wisdom becomes another wound. How many people do you know who received sudden money and within 2 years it was completely gone? Gone because the mindset never changed. Gone because the wrong people were still in the room. Gone because the identity never caught up with the increase. God refused to let that be your story. Every year of waiting was not wasted time. It was God doing in secret what needed to be done before the public blessing arrived. The delay was painful, but it may have saved the blessing from being destroyed before it ever reached your hands. Say this out loud right now. Say it like you mean it. Delay was not denial. Say it again. Because somewhere in your spirit, there is still a part of you that believes the wait meant you were not worthy. And God needs that lie broken today before the money moves. Because here is where this gets even more specific. There are signs, real, recognizable signs that appear in a person's life right before financial provision breaks loose. Signs that are so quiet, so ordinary, so easy to dismiss that most chosen ones walk straight past them without ever realizing what heaven was trying to say. And that is exactly where we are going next. Because the question is no longer whether God remembered you. We have already settled that. The question now is this: do you know how to recognize the moment when heaven begins to move? Now listen to me carefully, because what I am about to tell you is something most people miss. Not because they are not looking, but because they are looking in the wrong direction. Provision does not always arrive with a knock at the front door. It does not always announce itself with a phone call, a check in the mailbox, or a number on a screen. Before money moves in the natural world, something shifts in the invisible one. And if you do not know what to look for, you will miss the signal entirely. Provision sends footsteps before it enters the room. The river announces itself before you ever see the water. So let me ask you something right now, something I need you to sit with for just a moment. Have you noticed anything different lately? Something subtle, something you almost dismissed? Because God has been moving furniture in the spirit before he opens the door in the natural. And the signs, they have already started appearing in your life. The first sign is this: a strange, unexplainable calm has begun replacing the panic that used to live in your chest. You still see the bills, you still know the numbers, but something inside you has shifted. That is not denial. That is not distraction. That is peace that surpasses all understanding. Philippians 4:7. And that kind of peace does not arrive by accident. It arrives by assignment. The second sign: old financial fear no longer owns your entire day. You used to wake up at 3 inches the morning, heart pounding, running numbers in your head. But lately something has loosened. That loosening is not coincidence. That is heaven releasing the grip that anxiety had on your spirit because provision is closer than your fear wants you to believe. The third sign: small doors have started opening, not dramatic doors, small ones, a conversation you did not expect, an idea that surfaced from nowhere, an email you almost deleted. Do not despise small openings. Zechariah 4:10 says, "Do not despise the day of small beginnings." Small doors are often the entryway to enormous rooms. The fourth sign: people have been coming back into your life. Old connections, unexpected calls, someone you had not spoken to in years suddenly reaching out. Pay attention. God does not recycle people randomly. He restores connections when He is about to restore provision through them. The fifth sign: you have felt a deep urge to organize, simplify, and prepare. To go through old papers, to clear out spaces, to get your affairs in order, not out of fear, but out of a quiet readiness that you cannot fully explain. That is not coincidence. That is the Spirit of God preparing your hands to receive what is already in motion. The sixth sign: you have begun thinking more like a steward and less like a survivor. Something in your mind has started asking not just how do I get through this month, but what will I do when things change? That shift in thinking is prophetic. Your mind is aligning with a reality your eyes have not yet seen. The seventh sign: scripture about provision keeps finding you. You open a Bible app and land on Psalm 23. Someone sends you a verse about abundance. A preacher you never listened to suddenly says something that lands directly on your situation. That is not algorithm. That is God repeating Himself because He needs you to hear it. Now here is the part that will change how you see everything. Unexpected money may not arrive the way you imagined. It may come as a refund from something you forgot about, a settlement that finally moves, a gift from someone who felt led and could not explain why, a debt released, something old you sell for more than you expected, overdue compensation that was owed to you for years, a surprising opportunity that looks too simple to be significant. Do not overlook it because it did not come wrapped the way you expected, because sometimes the first miracle is not money in your hand, it is peace returning to your mind. And that peace is the evidence that the transfer has already begun in the unseen. But chosen one, I have to warn you, because even when provision is this close, even when every sign is pointing toward release, there is something that comes right before the breakthrough. A test. A specific, targeted, deeply personal test. And it is not loud. It is quiet. And it has caused many people, faithful people, praying people, deserving people to miss what was already meant for them. You need to know what that test looks like. You need to know its name, because if you walk into it blind, you may push away the very blessing that heaven spent years preparing for you. Which sign have you been noticing lately? Calm returning, doors beginning to open, repeated confirmation through scripture, unexpected ideas arriving. Leave one word below, just one word, because your answer matters more than you know. The test is coming next, and you cannot afford to miss it. Now, I need you to stay with me, because this is the part most people are not prepared for. You felt the hope rising just now. You felt something shift inside your chest. That warmth, that recognition, that quiet voice saying, yes, this is for me. And the enemy felt it too. Here is what nobody warns you about. The closer you get to divine provision, the louder the chaos becomes. Breakthrough does not arrive into a calm house. It knocks while chaos is screaming through every room. The final test does not come dressed in darkness. It comes dressed like urgency, like emergency, like right now. And if you do not know what you are looking at, you will make the worst decision of your life 3 days before your greatest blessing. So before that money moves, you need to recognize what is already moving against you. There are 4 tests, and chosen one, every single one of them, is designed to destroy the mindset that the money must land in. Because the enemy does not always try to stop the money. Sometimes he tries to damage the mindset that must receive it. The first test is the panic test. Something happens suddenly. An unexpected bill, a phone call with bad news, a number in your account that drops lower than you have seen in years, and everything inside you screams, "Move now, do something, anything. Sign the paper, take the loan, accept whatever is offered." That is not wisdom. That is a trap wearing the costume of urgency. Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." Not be still when things are comfortable. Be still when the walls are shaking, because panic has cancelled more breakthroughs than failure ever has. The second test is the bitterness test. You open your phone, you see someone younger, someone who never struggled the way you struggled, someone who never gave the way you gave, and they are celebrating a windfall, a promotion, an unexpected blessing. And something dark whispers, "Why them and not me? Why not yet? Has God forgotten me completely?" Chosen one. That bitterness is a poison specifically designed for people who have waited long, because the longer the wait, the more justified the bitterness feels, and a bitter spirit cannot hold a grateful blessing. Hebrews 12:15 warns us, "Let no root of bitterness spring up and defile you." One root. That is all it takes to contaminate everything God is preparing to pour. The third test is the desperation test. This one is the most dangerous, because it does not feel like a mistake. It feels like finally. You have been waiting so long that when the wrong door cracks open slightly, it looks like answered prayer. A deal that feels slightly off. A relationship that offers financial relief but costs your peace. A shortcut that requires you to compromise something sacred. And you think, "I am tired. I have prayed long enough. Maybe this is it." It is not it. When you have been through decades of hard years, survival habits become prison habits. You stop expecting God-sized answers. You start negotiating for just enough. And just enough will never be what heaven actually had written for you. A cracked container cannot hold a real blessing, and desperation is what cracks the container. The fourth test is the stewardship test. This one is quiet, almost invisible, but it is the most revealing of all. Before larger money arrives, your daily habits go under examination. How are you handling the small amounts right now? Are you making decisions from discipline or from emotion? Are you giving faithfully when it is difficult? Are you honoring God with what is already in your hand? Luke 16:10. Whoever is faithful in very little is also faithful in much. God does not expand what is not yet trustworthy. Before he widens the river, he checks the banks. Chosen one, hear me clearly. You have carried survival for so long that some of those survival habits have become invisible chains. The way you think about money, the fear that grips you at the first sign of shortage, the silence you keep because you are ashamed of the struggle. Those patterns, if they are not healed, will follow the blessing right through the door. A blessing can arrive into an exhausted mind and still be mishandled if healing has not happened first. The test before release is not about money alone. It is about whether peace will govern what fear used to control. So ask yourself right now, which of these four tests are you facing today? Because if the answer is any of them, you are not in a setback. You are in the final corridor before the door swings open. If you refuse to let fear sabotage what God is doing, type, "I will not panic." Because this is where the message turns. The money is not only about relief, it is about assignment. And what God is preparing to release into your hands, it carries a purpose far greater than paying off what you owe. Stay with me, because what comes next will show you exactly why this blessing had to be delayed and what heaven intends for you to do with it when it arrives. Now I need you to hear this next part carefully, because what I am about to tell you is the part most people miss. They hear unexpected money is coming, and they stop right there. They get excited, they share the video, they move on. And then the blessing arrives, and they mishandle it. not because they are bad people, but because nobody told them the truth about what the money actually is. So, let me tell you now, this unexpected money is not just to make you comfortable. It is to make you free enough to breathe, heal, help, and obey. Read that again in your spirit. Free enough to breathe, free enough to heal, free enough to help, free enough to finally obey the calling you have been postponing because the financial pressure never let up long enough for you to move. This is not pocket change from heaven. This is provision with purpose. And purpose-driven provision always carries a fourfold assignment. The first assignment is relief. God sees what has been pressing on your chest at 2 in the morning. The bill, the balance, the quiet shame of needing help when you spent your whole life being the one who helped others. Relief is coming, not as a reward for perfection, but as an act of divine mercy towards someone who never stopped trusting, even when trust felt like foolishness. The second assignment is restoration. There are things in your life that got postponed, not because you were lazy, because the money simply was not there. The car repair you kept putting off, the dental work you avoided, the home repair that became a safety concern. Restoration means God is going back into the timeline of your life and picking up what was left behind. Psalm 23 does not say, "He might restore your soul." It says, "He restores it." That restoration is not only spiritual, it is practical. The third assignment is responsibility. And this is where God gets serious with you. Because money without wisdom is just delayed disaster. Proverbs 13:22 says, "A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children." That means the blessing arriving in your hands was never only meant for your hands. It was meant to pass through you. Chosen one, you are not just a recipient, you are a channel. The fourth assignment, and this one will shake something loose inside you, is release into purpose. There is something God placed inside you years ago, a calling, a ministry, an act of generosity, a mission you nearly abandoned because the financial floor kept collapsing beneath your feet. This money is not arriving to retire your purpose, it is arriving to fund it. God does not send oil just to shimmer, He sends it to sustain the lamp. Think about the woman in 2 Kings, chapter 4. Widow, debt collectors at the door, sons about to be taken. And God did not send her a sympathy card. He sent her oil that would not stop pouring until every vessel was full. But here is what the scripture makes clear. The oil stopped when she ran out of vessels. The blessing was limited only by her capacity to receive it. Chosen one, are you preparing vessels? Or are you so worn down by waiting that you have stopped expecting enough to even get ready? Because here is the truth that should stop you cold. God may be sending this money not only to answer your prayer, but to restore your ability to live without constant fear. Fear is expensive. Fear costs you sleep. It costs you health. It costs you the mental clarity to hear God clearly. It costs you the emotional bandwidth to love your family well. And it costs you the boldness to step into the very calling He designed you to carry. This provision is not arriving to make you comfortable in your recliner. It is arriving to remove the fear that has been stealing your voice, your courage, and your final chapter. Maybe the money is for your grandchildren's education. Maybe it is for a ministry you planted years ago that dried up when the funds ran out. Maybe it is to finally help that child who has been struggling and you have been watching helplessly with a breaking heart. The blessing is not just landing in your hands, it is being placed into your story, into your legacy, into every life your obedience will touch long after you are gone. This is bigger than cash. This is God restoring your dignity, your purpose, and your ability to finish what He started in you. So I have to ask you something, and I need you to sit with it. If this money arrived in your life tomorrow morning, would you be ready to receive it without fear, without guilt, and without self-sabotage pulling you backward? Because that question is exactly where we are going next. If this message is speaking directly to your spirit right now, Share it with someone who has been carrying financial worry in silence. They need to hear this too. And subscribe if you are ready for messages that do not just excite you, messages that actually prepare you. Because what comes next is where everything changes. Now I need you to stay with me here, because this next part, this is where most people get it wrong. You prayed for it, you waited for it, you cried in the dark for it, and when it finally comes, you are going to be tempted to receive it the wrong way. Let me ask you something that might be uncomfortable. Have you ever gotten good news and your very first feeling was not joy, but fear? Have you ever received help and immediately felt guilty for needing it? Have you ever held a blessing in your hands and spent the entire moment waiting for it to be taken away? That is not ingratitude. That is not weakness. That is what decades of financial pressure does to the human soul. It rewires you. It trains you to expect loss, even when provision is standing right in front of you. It teaches you to interrogate every gift before you allow yourself to feel it. And I need you to hear this truth plainly. Some people do not miss the blessing because it never came. They miss it because they received it with a frightened heart. Chosen one, financial trauma is real, and it does not announce itself. It shows up as guilt when someone helps you. It shows up as anxiety the moment relief arrives. It shows up as that voice in the back of your mind, whispering, "This will not last. Something is going to go wrong. You do not deserve this." That voice is not wisdom. That voice is a wound that has never been healed. Proverbs 10:22 says it plainly, "The blessing of the Lord makes rich, and he adds no sorrow with it." Read that again. No sorrow. God does not send provision wrapped in punishment. He does not attach shame to what he releases. The guilt you feel when you receive that did not come from heaven. That came from years of hardship that taught you to be afraid of relief. And for some of you watching right now, you have carried that fear so long it feels like discernment. It is not. It is a scar wearing the mask of wisdom. So when this unexpected money arrives, and it is coming, here is what you must do. Pause before you react. Do not immediately pick up the phone. Do not immediately start calculating. Do not let panic management replace prayerful stewardship. Sit still for one moment and do something that financial trauma never allows you to do. Breathe and thank God before you make a single plan. Then ask 3 questions. What is this money meant to repair? What is it meant to relieve? What is it meant to release? Because unexpected provision from heaven is never random. It is targeted. God does not send resources without purpose, and if you receive it in a panic, you will scatter what was meant to be placed with precision. Do not pour new oil into old fear. Do not force a gift from God to wear the face of your past wounds. Let gratitude greet what trauma would have interrogated. And I want to speak directly to someone right now. Someone who has been sitting with this thought quietly, too ashamed to say it out loud. You have been thinking, it is too late for me. Whatever is coming, it cannot fix what the years have already cost. It cannot give back what I lost. It cannot change how far behind I am. I need you to reject that lie with everything in you. Provision, arriving late, is still provision. And late is not lost. Abraham was 100 years old when Isaac was placed in his arms. The disciples fished all night and caught nothing, and then Jesus showed up at dawn. Joseph waited 13 years in a pit and a prison before the palace doors opened. Late is not God's failure. Late is God's setup. Your season did not pass you. It was being prepared for you. And when it arrives, you do not have to perform gratitude. You do not have to pretend the wait did not hurt. God already knows it hurt. What he is asking from you now is not a performance. He is asking for an open hand, not a clenched fist, still braced for disappointment. Reject shame for needing help. Reject guilt for receiving what God decided to send. Reject the impulse to immediately minimize the miracle because your nervous system is not used to good news. You are allowed to receive this. fully, without apology. Whisper this over your life right now. Say it quietly, say it out loud, say it wherever you are sitting. I receive what God sends without fear. Say it again until your spirit believes it. Because here is what is waiting just ahead. The money is coming, but so is a test that has nothing to do with the amount. It has everything to do with the people standing closest to you when it arrives. And that is the final hidden danger nobody warns you about. Now I need you to stay with me here. Because this next part, this is where most people get it wrong. You prayed for it. You waited for it. You cried in the dark for it. And when it finally comes, you are going to be tempted to receive it the wrong way. Let me ask you something that might be uncomfortable. Have you ever gotten good news and your very first feeling was not joy, but fear? Have you ever received help and immediately felt guilty for needing it? Have you ever held a blessing in your hands and spent the entire moment waiting for it to be taken away? That is not ingratitude. That is not weakness. That is what decades of financial pressure does to the human soul. It rewires you. It trains you to expect loss even when provision is standing right in front of you. It teaches you to interrogate every gift before you allow yourself to feel it. And I need you to hear this truth plainly. Some people do not miss the blessing because it never came. They miss it because they received it with a frightened heart. Chosen one, financial trauma is real. And it does not announce itself. It shows up as guilt when someone helps you. It shows up as anxiety the moment relief arrives. It shows up as that voice in the back of your mind, whispering, "This will not last. Something is going to go wrong. You do not deserve this." That voice is not wisdom. That voice is a wound that has never been healed. Proverbs 10:22 says it plainly. The blessing of the Lord makes rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. Read that again. No sorrow. God does not send provision wrapped in punishment. He does not attach shame to what he releases. The guilt you feel when you receive that did not come from heaven. That came from years of hardship that taught you to be afraid of relief. And for some of you watching right now, you have carried that fear so long it feels like discernment. It is not. It is a scar wearing the mask of wisdom. So when this unexpected money arrives, and it is coming, here is what you must do. Pause before you react. Do not immediately pick up the phone. Do not immediately start calculating. Do not let panic management replace prayerful stewardship. Sit still for one moment and do something that financial trauma never allows you to do. Breathe. And thank God before you make a single plan. Then ask 3 questions. What is this money meant to repair? What is it meant to relieve? What is it meant to release? Because unexpected provision from heaven is never random. It is targeted. God does not send resources without purpose. And if you receive it in a panic, you will scatter what was meant to be placed with precision. Do not pour new oil into old fear. Do not force a gift from God to wear the face of your past wounds. Let gratitude greet what trauma would have interrogated. And I want to speak directly to someone right now. Someone who has been sitting with this thought quietly, too ashamed to say it out loud. You have been thinking, it is too late for me. Whatever is coming, it cannot fix what the years have already cost. It cannot give back what I lost. It cannot change how far behind I am. I need you to reject that lie with everything in you. Provision arriving late is still provision, and late is not lost. Abraham was 100 years old when Isaac was placed in his arms. The disciples fished all night and caught nothing, and then Jesus showed up at dawn. Joseph waited 13 years in a pit and a prison before the palace doors opened. Late is not God's failure. Late is God's setup. Your season did not pass you. It was being prepared for you. And when it arrives, you do not have to perform gratitude. You do not have to pretend the wait did not hurt. God already knows it hurt. What he is asking from you now is not a performance. He is asking for an open hand, not a clenched fist still braced for disappointment. Reject shame for needing help. Reject guilt for receiving what God decided to send. Reject the impulse to immediately minimize the miracle because your nervous system is not used to good news. You are allowed to receive this fully, without apology. Whisper this over your life right now. Say it quietly. Say it out loud. Say it wherever you are sitting. I receive what God sends without fear. Say it again until your spirit believes it. Because here is what is waiting just ahead. The money is coming, but so is a test that has nothing to do with the amount. It has everything to do with the people standing closest to you when it arrives. And that is the final hidden danger nobody warns you about. I need you to stay with me right here, because what I am about to say is the part most people never hear. The part that changes not just your bank account, but the way you wake up tomorrow morning. This message was never only about money. Say that again slowly in your spirit. This was never only about money, because I have talked to enough people, enough tired, faithful, quietly suffering people to know that the financial pressure is not the deepest wound. The deepest wound is what the pressure did to your sense of worth, what years of strain did to your dignity, what decades of just barely making it did to the way you see yourself in the mirror every single morning. You stopped sleeping the way you used to sleep. You stopped breathing the way God designed you to breathe. Somewhere between the mounting bills and the shrinking options, you stopped feeling fully human. You started moving through your days like a person carrying something too heavy, too proud to put it down, too tired to keep going, too faithful to quit. And nobody saw it. That is the wound this message is here to address. Psalm 34:18 says, God is close to the brokenhearted, not the loud, not the visible, not the ones with the biggest platforms or the most polished prayers, the brokenhearted, the quietly crushed, the ones who kept showing up faithful while silently falling apart. That is you. That has been you. And heaven has not been silent because it forgot you. Heaven has been close, closer than the pressure itself, watching, measuring, preparing. Now hear this prophetically. God is not just filling your hand. He is lifting your chest so you can breathe again. The money is the envelope. Mercy is the letter inside. What is coming into your natural life in the weeks and months ahead is only the visible edge of a deeper kindness. The real miracle is not the dollar amount. The real miracle is that the season of living crushed that long, grinding, invisible season may finally be breaking open right now. Unexpected money is the sign. Restored dignity is the miracle. You are not too old for relief. You are not too late for divine kindness. You are not beyond the reach of sudden mercy. Not at 70, not at 75, not at 80, not after everything you have been through. Abraham was 100 years old when Isaac arrived. The promise did not expire. It ripened. And your promise has been ripening. Every year the pressure intensified. That was not punishment. That was the weight of a promise growing larger than the container you were in. God does not waste suffering. He does not ignore decades of faithfulness. Romans 8:28 does not say some things work together for good. It says all things, all of it, every sleepless night, every delayed answer, every moment you felt invisible to the world while staying visible to God. All of it has been working. And now I want to speak to something specific, something most people in this season are carrying but rarely say out loud. You are afraid that even if provision comes, the joy will not come with it. You are afraid that too much has been lost, too much time, too much peace, too much of the version of yourself that used to laugh easily and sleep deeply and trust freely. You are afraid that the money might arrive, but the lightness will not. I need you to hear this directly. God is not sending provision into a broken container. He is healing the container first. The quieting of panic you have been feeling lately, that is not coincidence. The small moments of unexpected peace, that is not random. The strange sense that something is shifting even though nothing visible has changed, yet that is heaven, preparing the inside of you before the outside catches up. He is restoring joy. He is quieting the alarm that has been running in your chest for years. He is breaking the mentality of endless scarcity that told you, this is just how life is now. It is not how life is now. It is how the waiting season felt, and the waiting season is ending. What arrives in the natural is only the visible edge of a deeper kindness. The deepest blessing is not that money is coming. The deepest blessing is that you will not live crushed anymore. You will sleep again. You will breathe again. You will sit at your table without that familiar weight pressing down on your shoulders. You will answer the phone without flinching. You will look at your grandchildren and feel something you have not felt in a long time, the quiet certainty that everything is going to be all right. That is the miracle heaven has been building toward. Not just provision, restoration, not just relief, dignity returned, not just survival, life, real life, given back to you. If this message reached you when you needed it most, write these words right now. He did not forget me. Say it, type it, let your own voice hear it. Because the declaration you make today is the door your blessing walks through tomorrow. Before we close this sacred moment together, I need you to do one thing. Put your hand over your chest. Right there, feel that heartbeat. That is not accident. That is not coincidence. That is God saying, I still have plans for this life. I still have more written over this name. I have not closed this story. And now, chosen one, we bring it all before heaven together. Father God, we come before you not with perfect words, but with honest hearts. You have seen what no human eye has witnessed. You have heard prayers whispered at 2 in the morning when the house was dark and the worry was loud. You have watched your children carry financial pressure with dignity, with grace, with a quiet strength that the world never fully recognized or rewarded. Lord, you see the hidden need. You have always seen it. And so we ask, release clean provision. Not provision tied to compromise, not money attached to manipulation or fear, or the schemes of predatory hands. Send what is pure. Send what is protected. Send what has been prepared in the unseen, already marked with this name, already moving through doors that only you control. God, guard your children from panic. Guard them from people who will appear the moment blessing arrives, people with smooth words and dangerous intentions. Give discernment sharp enough to recognize what is sent from heaven and what is sent to steal it. Lord, restore peace to every mind that has not slept soundly in months. Restore dignity to every heart that has quietly felt the shame of not having enough. Restore strength to every body that has been worn down, not just by age but by worry, by the invisible weight of financial fear that nobody talks about, but everybody in this moment knows intimately. Let peace stand at the door before provision walks in. Let wisdom sit at the table when the blessing arrives. Let gratitude become the language of their next season. Now, chosen one, say this with me, not as a wish, not as a hope, as a declaration spoken from a place of settled faith. I will not panic. I will not call myself forgotten. I will receive what God sends. I will steward it with wisdom. I will not let fear speak louder than provision. Say it again until it lands in your bones, because what you declare in faith today, you walk into tomorrow. Proverbs 18:21 says, life and death are in the power of the tongue. Your words are not empty. They are seeds dropped into the soil of your future. And now hear this prophetic word spoken over your life with authority. May what has been delayed begin to move. May what has been tied up begin to loosen. May what has been prayed over in secret begin to appear in the open. May the phone call come that you did not expect. May the letter arrive that shifts the number in that account. May the connection appear that opens a door no human hand scheduled. May the refund, the settlement, the inheritance, the opportunity, the favor, may it find your address the way heaven always knew it would. because here is the truth that must close this message. This blessing was never only about comfort. It was about restoration. It was about purpose being funded. It was about a calling that needed resources to reach its fullness. It was about healing not just in the bank account, but in the soul of someone who stopped believing they were worth receiving. You are worth receiving. After everything you have carried, after every year of faithful giving with little coming back, after every silent sacrifice and every private prayer and every dignified smile worn over a quietly breaking heart, God is still determined to be kind to you. That is not a small thing. That is not a throwaway line at the end of a message. That is the miracle. Not just the money. The miracle is that after all of it, the delays, the silence, the wait, the wondering, heaven never reassigned your blessing to someone more deserving. It stayed. It waited. It moved quietly through unseen hands. And now it is close enough that you can sense it. Chosen one, the unexpected money may be real, but the greater miracle is that after all you have carried, God is still determined to be kind to you. Write in the comments right now, "He did not forget me." Say it for yourself. Say it as a declaration. Say it as a testimony that is already true before your eyes fully see the evidence. And if you know someone carrying silent financial pressure, someone who smiles in public and worries in private, send this message to them today, not tomorrow, today. Because someone in your life needs to hear that heaven has not forgotten their address either. Subscribe and stay close, because the next message will show you how to position yourself so that when the blessing arrives, you are ready spiritually, mentally, and wisely to receive everything God is about to release. Chosen one, go forward in peace. The answer is already moving.